Okay, thanks, Michael. Next question. Anybody from the audience? Yeah, come on up.
Hi, my name is Bernie Robbins, 1510 The Strand, Hermosa. When you started talking about the 10% cut that the council is going to take up, I got interested in hearing about that, and I have a thought. And Mr. Powers, when you suggested you were going to give up your salary for the school district, I thought maybe that's a good start, because I don't know if anybody on the council, when you start talking about this, I haven't heard about this. Have you been thinking about setting an example and reducing, let's say, the council's pay and the benefits and the car? I think that would go a long ways toward doing something really constructive when you start talking about cutting. If you start at the top, everybody says you're in it, and hey, we're part of it, and that's a solution. Thank you.
Annie, you're next up.
If I understand the question, is has the council candidates agreed to be the first people to donate to the school? Is that did I understand that question correctly?
No, not just to the schools. You just be taking a reduction, very setting an example.
Oh, yeah, we're taking a reduction period, or your reduction in pay at the city council. That's what he's saying.
I think that my answer is the literature that I have on my website and the materials that I pass on when I go through the neighborhoods is I am not going to take over the perks that are provided as part of the city council if I get elected. And it's my understanding, and I'm happy to, if the council members here can clarify, I don't think there's actually a car allowance for the council members anymore. So there's really, it's not out there to give up. If it was out there, I'd be happy to give it up. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Haney. Steve?
I don't know. I think that maybe I answered part of your question by saying that I'd donate my salary. The other perks I really haven't looked into, so I really don't know what they are. I tried to find them on the internet, and they're not available. Okay, I did find out just by conversation with somebody in the city that the pay was $540 a month, which comes to about $6,300 a year, and that's what I've offered up to the school district.
Thanks, Steve. Michael?
Yeah, thank you, Bernie. I think that's a smart question. I don't know that we've talked about it as a body. Our conversation for the 10% cut is going to happen for its first time tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 7 right here. I think that what you propose is very appropriate and smart for folks like myself and my colleagues to do. I certainly would see that at a minimum we reduce any benefits we have, any salary we have by the same, if not more, percent than we're asking for our employees. I think it shows good faith. I think it shows an appreciation, and I think it's paramount to really passing this in a way that sends both the message that we're serious about cost and a message that we're serious about morale and employee longevity and employee satisfaction, and that has a direct impact to the services you experience on the Strand or wherever you are in town. So I think that's a great idea. If it's not a part of the plan that we talk about tomorrow, I'll make sure it will be, no doubt. I'm sure my colleagues will bring it up too. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Pete?
Thank you. I've always had the philosophy that don't do as I do as I say, but that doesn't work in this aspect. When we ask our employees if they are going to have to take a cut in pay, I feel as a council person I need to lead by example and say I will take the same cut. Currently, I receive no health benefits or medical benefits from the city. I do not have a car allowance. And I believe at our last budget meeting for this fiscal year, we reduced our amount of travel expenses to go to seminars and other events, and we reduced the amount of people that can go there. Normally we have the mayor and possibly one other person go instead of all 5 of us. So we have taken steps to do that. And I think it's very critical, though, that when we ask employees to take a cut, we as a council will do the same, if not more. So yes, I'm happy to do that, and I think our employees have been very fortunate here. They haven't had to take a cut. Where I'm employed, we've taken a 6% cut, and it's very, very difficult. And I understand those problems working for another municipality And when we get into this, believe me, I will turn the coin every which way, upside down, around and back, to make sure that we still have a viable staff here, and that we as a council will feel the same pain
Summarize.
they do in the cuts that they have to take. So yes, we'll look at all those, and I have no reservation not to reduce my pay or anything else. Thank you for your question.
Thanks, Pete. Any other questions from the audience? Come on up.
Mr. Seaman, Hermosa Beach. On that last thing, it's not a question, but I'd like to know why our city staff manager for $225,000 gets every Friday off. I don't get it. But my question to you guys is kind of a balance of what proposes that I see is selective enforcement regarding ordinances in the city. I'm going to give you a couple of examples just to get you familiar so the question makes sense. Planning Commission a couple of days ago told a lady at the beach store that she couldn't have a mural up because it was advertising. Advertising could be a mural, could be good advertising. It was a beautiful picture of Coca-Cola. All the planning commissioners all said to her, geez, I really love it, but it's an ordinance, so you have to paint this thing away because we don't allow advertising. A couple of days later, the city council passed